What's good, Retro Gang? Welcome back for more Cyberpunk 2077 lore. Today we're going to take a look at all major confirmed gangs of Cyberpunk 2077, as well as a few smaller gangs that we'll definitely run into while roaming around Night City and the Badlands. While we know we won't be able to join any gangs, still they will play an integral part in our success or failure within Night City. First, we have the Wraiths. They are a gang of members from the Raffen Shiv nomad group that roams the Badlands, preying on the lost and unwary, and have a long history of frequent conflict and warring with the other nomad faction inhabiting the Badlands, the Aldecados. Their custom 1000 horsepower Quadra-Type 66, codenamed Reaver, is badass, and I would love to get my hands on this vehicle, even just for one ride around the Badlands. Next up is the Thevalentinos, one of Night City's largest gangs. Back in 2020, they were a womanizing poser gang dedicated only to seducing the most attractive women in Night City, but have since evolved and are now bound by brotherhood and a strong moral code. They treat values such as honor and justice with deadly seriousness. V's partner Jackie is a longtime member of the Valentinos, with numerous tattoos branding his allegiance to his gang. Moving on, the Maelstrom is a gang of violent cyber-obsessed techies. Their urge to improve the weakness of human flesh is far stronger than their fear of cyberpsychosis. They are known for their street mod optical units and have heavy combat augmentations, as well as pain suppressors and reflex boosters. 30% of the Maelstrom members are clinical cyberpsychos, and another third are just about to plunge into the depths of cyberpsychosis as well. The Maelstrom's hideout is the old All Foods meat factory. With 30 to 40 active members, they are led by Royce, the same guy that tries to kill V and Jackie after they are fooled into planting a virus in Maelstrom's main terminal by Corporal Agent Meredith Stout via a cred chip that we were using to purchase an experimental Militech surveillance bot codenamed Flathead for the fixer Dexter Deshawn. Next, the Tiger Claws is a gang of Japanese origin and stylistic influence, located within the Westbrook district of Night City. They're ruthless and violent in practice and intimidating in appearance. Even with the many modern weapons and augmentations available, they are traditional by nature, preferring katanas above all else. In the old days of 2020, Tiger Claw members rarely used cyberware. However, now with such incredible technological advancements, they have embraced body modification, with Oni masks, Yabu Kusanagis, and cyber limbs with luminous tattoos being their trademarks. They are rumored to be in a territory feud with the Steel Dragons, a gang founded by the rebellious Arasaka heir Yorinobu. While the Steel Dragons nor Yorinobu Arasaka are currently confirmed to be in Cyberpunk 2077, if we take a closer look at the Tiger Claws poster art, it shows what could be a member of the Steel Dragons with their iconic Bosuzoku style motorbike riding within a dragon. This could make sense and be very interesting from a narrative perspective, because the Tiger Claws are rumored to be backed financially by Arasaka, whom Yorinobu has sworn to someday destroy. Next up, the Animals are an aggressive street fighting booster gang. Their presence in West Pacifica is suspicious and unknown. They emphasize physical power above all else and avoid traditional cyberware, whilst preferring melee combat enhancing augmentations as well as testosterone, animal supplements, and a potent steroid-like beverage known as juice, which increases their strength and speed tremendously. With a name like the Animals, you wouldn't expect them to be skilled street-level business types that have cornered the illegal substance market, as well as the underground live or die prize fight arena. When the gang gathers, it's for something big. They then select the strongest and fastest among them as their new leader, and in 2077, it's a woman named Sasquatch. The Animals seem to be allied with the anti-cybercrime task force Netwatch, which may explain why they're in Pacifica in the first place. Pacifica is almost 100% controlled by the Voodoo Boys, a gang that consists mostly of skilled and rebellious netrunners. Pitting gangs against one another in some kind of brawn versus brain proxy war is Cyberpunk to the T, and I can't wait to see how this all plays out in the end. Now last and definitely not least, we have the enigmatic Haitians of Pacifica, the Voodoo Boys. They aren't just devoted to uncovering the secrets of the old net and those behind the black wall, they're also edge runners, breaking every rule there is to break, and programming viruses that can freeze neural networks around the globe. The gang formed after the mass migration of Haitians to Pacifica in the 2060s when Hispaniola was decimated by a sudden natural disaster. They are led by Maman Brigitte and her second-in-command, Placide, whom have a deep hatred and rivalry with the aforementioned Netwatch cohorts, the Animals. With Johnny Silverhand's consciousness uploaded to a chip almost 50 years after his death, we have reason to believe that his girlfriend, the skilled netrunner that developed the Soul Killer program, Cunningham, could also be digitally alive and somewhere within the net or behind the black wall in 2077. We can also further speculate that this could be the main story arc of Johnny Silverhand within the game, seeing as Alt was his major motivation within his origin lore story, Never Fade Away. The Voodoo Boys could play an integral part in our main story throughout the game. Having such high screen time within the promotional material, second only to Maelstrom, makes this very likely. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing remains to be seen. For a deeper dive into Johnny Silverhand and Cunningham, I did a video chronicling their entire story up to this point. Click the link in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Now we have several gangs that are confirmed to be in Cyberpunk 2077, but we know very little about them. Rounding out the video, I'll list them along with a few details that we do know. First, we have 6th Street. It was founded by the veterans of the 4th Corporate War, tired of the helplessness of the Night City Police Department. 6th Street was meant to serve and protect the community of Vista del Rey, but today their interpretation of law and bringing justice to the city is questionable and self-serving. Moving on, the Moxes were formed in 2076 after the death of Elizabeth Lizzie Borden, a strip club owner and ex-prostitute who had high regard for her workers and defended them from any and all violent clients. The Mox refer to themselves, and I quote, as those who protect the working girls and guys from violence and abuse within Night City. Lastly, we have the Lizzies. The Lizzies are obsessed with the singer Lizzie Wizzy and are very hostile towards anyone who disrespects Lizzie or other Lizzie members. The only human member and leader of the group, Lizzie Wizzy and the Metadwarves, Lizzie Wizzy is known for having committed suicide on stage, declared dead for an hour, then brought back to life by Trauma Team. The Trauma Team replaced her whole body with cyberware. Incredibly, Lizzie Wizzy was able to finish that same concert, which led some fans to consider this show as one of the best art forms that has ever existed. Now Night City Y is just one day away, and with it will come a blowout of information about the game. Now rest assured I will be covering and analyzing every aspect of the event. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like for the Y tag, and consider subscribing for more Cyberpunk 2077 content.